If you've ever looked at drip irrigation online or looked at all the fittings, it might seem a little bit overwhelming, but actually many of the parts are quite simplified. And we're going to see here that this form of irrigation is very efficient for row crops, whether you're growing outdoors in regular rows or in tunnel structures. Hopefully this will add some clarification, show you the simplicity of it, also show you some of the efficiencies of it to see if this is a good fit for your operation.
Okay, so here we're going to talk about irrigation for our tomatoes, and the same can be applied to a high tunnel as a caterpillar tunnel as just a regular infield row. So this is not something that's unique to caterpillars that we're seeing here. This is just an example. And this is drip irrigation, very efficient form of irrigation because you're watering the soil. You're not getting leaf wetness, which is great. We see a main line running down here, and we see then a fitting that comes off this. This fitting then runs to what's called a drip tape. It's not soaker hose. It might look like that with being all moisture here. That's only because the cold water with the hot sun here is causing a little bit of condensation to occur. What these will have is little emitters every so often, and that will basically what allows the soil here to basically wet. And it's little drips. That's literally where it gets its name from. So there's some little drips of water that basically occur. So if you turn this on and like, wait, where's all the water? It's meant to do this. It's meant to give this nice, slow feeding, simulating a rain, but keeping it super efficient, keeping it on the ground. And also this slow rate gives you the ability to run 100, 200, depending what type of fittings, 3, 4, potentially up to 700 feet without any line loss. That means the same irrigation that's occurring here, where the main line is occurring also for the same plant all the way down at the end of the row. You just don't get that with traditional soaker hoses, which is why T-tape, drip tape is so advantageous for growers on these large-scale operations. I'm going to show you here what a fitting actually looks like. So we do have the irrigation on, so while we do, I'm just going to show you exactly the setup here so you can get an idea of what's happening for our tomatoes down this row. All right, so here we're going to look at a traditional drip irrigation with our main line and what one of those fittings is actually doing. The fitting I'm going to show you is not hooked up to the actual T-tape, but it gives you an idea of what's going on. So as we look at here, we've got our main line here, which is this larger piece of plastic tubing where the water's coming through. And here we've got a fitting. Now this fitting is turned off because there are no tomatoes down this row, but there is water flowing through here. Now the advantage of having these little fittings is it allows you just simply to turn that row off. Great. If you wanted to add more irrigation rows, great. Just make sure you're doing your math so you know how much water you're supplying. What's happening though, imagine if there is a piece of tape here and I turn this on, you can see that basically water is flowing down that row. Now if I turn all the way on, you can see how much water is flowing through there. And imagine that going down now along tape. So I'll turn that off there so we lose pressure because there's no lines here. And basically that's the flow of water that's going down that row. So even though it doesn't look like you're getting a lot of irrigation because it is just going through drips, that's your volume of water that could be supplied during that long row. And timing will kind of be gauged on the type of soil you have, the area you're irrigating, the crops you're irrigating, as well as the season. But this gives you an idea of the setup that gives you the flexibility to make those adjustments to ensure the crops are getting even moisture.